recap, normally the quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Hope you know quadratic term, right? Polynomials. How will be a second degree polynomial? It will have a second degree term, first degree term, and a constant. So in this chapter, we are solving this equation, ax square plus bx plus c. And there are 2-3 different methods. We have done one method, that is factorization method. Factorization, in a sense, suppose I have an equation, say just for a recollection, because you people have joined me late, because today's discussion has nothing to do with this method. We have something like minus 6x plus 5 equal to 0. That's a quadratic equation because highest degree is second degree, right? Now, how we identify is factors is, how much is the coefficient here? Nothing is there, so I'll read 1. And constant. First consider these two. These two and this number, minus 5. Now, first and the last term must be product. So I need a numbers whose product is 5. And the middle term's coefficient, that should be sum. Sum should be minus 6. So anyone here could tell me any two numbers whose product is 5 and sum is minus 6. Tell me two numbers whose product is 5. If I multiply them, I should get 5. If I add them, I should get minus 6. Can you tell me two such numbers? Right, Sachi says minus 5 and minus 1. So by Sachi, what I'll do is x square and the last number plus 5, I'll keep them as it is. We'll not change them. Only the middle term minus 6, as Sachi has suggested, we'll write them as minus 1x minus 5x. Problem is over. From the first and second terms, can I take x common? Then what is left out? X in the first term, minus 1 in the second term. Now from the third and the fourth terms, I take out minus 5 common. I took minus 5 common from here, so I'm left with x. And from plus 5, I took minus 5 common, so I'm left with minus 1 again. Now if you observe, both the terms have again x minus 1 as a common factor. So that gives me x minus 1 into x minus 5 equal to 0. Obviously clear here, it's a product of two factors. We are able to express a quadratic equation in terms of product of two factors. And product of two factors is 0. When is this possible? Either x minus 1 is 0 or another possibility is x minus 5 is 0. So I'll have x equal to 1 or x equal to 5. So for the quadratic equation, I am able to identify the two roots, that is x equal to 1 and x equal to 5. So these are the last two classes that we did. We tried to identify a quadratic equation and then we tried to solve it by a method called factorization. Now in this class, we will directly derive quadratic formula. Now, what is the need of this quadratic formula? As you can see, I have just now considered an example and said, if the quadratic equation can be factorized, then I'll get two factors, each of them will be 0. But do you think always I will have such factors? Suppose I give you 2x square minus 4x plus say 5 equal to 0. Now how much should be the product? That should be the product of first and last terms. So this and this, then the middle term. So now the product should be 10 and the sum should be 4. Is it possible for me to identify the numbers whose product is 10 and the sum becomes 4? Now the problem with this number is 10 as a product has only two factors, 5 and 2. Because both 2 and 5 both are prime numbers, so I cannot further refactorize them. and recombine them to get two numbers. Whether I add 5 and 2 or subtract 5 and 2, I'll never get 4 as a sum. That means there are many quadratic equations for which identifying the two factors is not so easy. Are you getting what I'm saying? Did you identify the problem with the two examples which are on the screen? So in order to solve this kind of problems also where factorization method fails, I want a universal method in which I can identify the roots, and that comes by quadratic formula. Once we learn the formula, instead of by-hearting it, what we do is we do sufficient number of problems to get habituated to this quadratic formula. Right? Shall we proceed? Now before I derive this quadratic formula, I'll give you an idea behind this problem. Let's consider the same example that we failed just now. 2x square minus 4x plus 5 equal to 0. Right? This is what we failed. Now just for the sake of calculation, I'm taking minus 5. You'll understand this in the coming days. Why I took minus 5, don't worry. 2x square minus 4x minus 5. Clearly 100% sure I cannot have product as minus 10 and sum is needed to be minus 4. Whereas minus 10 product is 5 and 2 with one of them plus and one of them minus. So I can never get any other factors because both 5 and 2 are prime numbers. So none of this sum could ever give me 4. So 100% I factorize, right? Here the quadratic formula will help me. Understand real case, then we'll derive a formula. Let's consider this equation as it is. 2x square minus 4x minus 5 equal to 0. Rule number 1 of this step for solving by using quadratic formula is the coefficient of x square should always be 1. If it is not 1, let us make it 1. And this is always possible because right hand side is 0. What happens if I divide both the left hand side and right hand side by 2? Did you understand why I divided by 2? Because coefficient of x square is 2, but I need 1. So I divided with that coefficient so that it becomes 1 automatically. Right? Then what will happen? 2x square by 2, that is simply x square. My purpose is done. Instead of 2, now I got 1. Minus 4 by 2, that is 2x. Minus 5 by 2, that's a fraction, no problem. 0 by 2 is 0. So I converted this original equation into this form. X square minus 2x minus 5 by 2 equal to 0. My problem is solved now. Look at the first and second terms. Don't worry about the constant. In fact, don't worry about the constant. Let us take it to the right hand side and leave it. Let's not worry about that. It becomes plus 5 by 2, it went out. Now look at the left hand side. X square is present, minus 2x is present. What else should be present on the left hand side to make it a perfect square? Are you getting what I am asking? On the left hand side I am having x square minus 2x. Forget about what is there on the right hand side. Some number 5 by 2 is there, which I know, 2.5. What is my question is, how much should be there on the left hand side to make it as a perfect square? Something is missing. Do you any idea what should be there on the left hand side so that I get a perfect square on the left hand side? What is missing on both the sides is I need plus 1. So I added 1 on both the sides. What happened by adding this 1? The left hand side became x minus 1 whole square is 5 by 2 plus 1. That is simply 7 by 2. Now look at the first line of the question and the last line of the question. In the first line, the variable, the unknown term, is present at two places, one in x square and one in x. This is also unknown, this is also unknown. But if you look at the last line, only one term of unknown is present, that is x minus 1, single term. So we have reduced the number of unknown terms. What happened now? Advantage? X minus 1 became plus or minus, because square root, 7 by 2. So what is my x value? Simply minus 1 comes to this side, it becomes 1 plus or minus root 7 by root 2. Some irrational number, no problem. I got an irrational number, root 7 by root 2. But I got two values of x. One is 1 plus root 7 by 2 and the other one is 1 minus root 7 by 2. Did I get two values of x now? Now, because these values are in fact root 7 by root 2, root 7 by root 2. Because these values are, factors are irrational, we are unable to identify the two numbers whose product is minus 10 and sum is minus 4. But by completing the perfect square method, that is by quadratic formula, I am able to get the value. And the advantage of quadratic formula is, instead of two unknown terms, one x square and one x term, I could reduce it to single unknown term, that is x. Is the example wise the method clear to all before I derive a formula for this? If this method with the numericals is clear to you all, I am going to derive with unknown numbers ABC. That is solving the original equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Is the method clear to all? C, partial. And for all others, while copying, just I will try to repeat. 2x square minus 4x minus 5 equal to 0 is my equation. And I am trying to solve the equation to get the value of x. Forget about this product and all, that's a different method which you can again recollect later. Now, the aim of this method, this particular formulation that we are trying to derive now, is the coefficient of x square must be 1. It cannot be 2, 3, no other number. It should be always 1. But in the equation, it is not 1, it is 2. So how do I make it 1? For that, what I did is, being the right hand side 0, I divided both sides by that number which is there at x square. Now in this case it is 2, so I divided by 2. Then what will happen to the equation? 2x square by 2, it became x square. Minus 4x by 2, it became minus 2x. Minus 5 by 2, that is as it is, equal to 0 right hand side. Now look at this line which I wrote here. Is having the coefficient of x square is 1. That is the first step. Once I made it 1, what I did is, I removed this constant minus 5 by 2 and took it to the right hand side. Then what is left on the left hand side? X square is there, minus 2x is there. 5 by 2 has gone to right hand side. Now observe the left hand side. X square minus 2x. Something is missing to make it a perfect square. So what I did, I added 1 on the both the sides so that equation remains unchanged. If I want, I can cancel them. So I added 1. Why I added 1? The left hand side term now, x square minus 2x plus 1, is a purely perfect square, and the right hand side is purely a number. Now the left hand side became x minus 1 whole square. Now look at this last line which we are getting, and the first line. In this first box, you have two terms of unknowns. One is x square and one is x. Whereas in the last box that I made, there is only one unknown term, that is x. It's easy to find the value of x now because the number of terms is only 1. So then I removed the square root. That means I took square root on the both the sides. So what is left hand side now? X minus 1 became plus or minus square root of whatever is the constant that is on the right hand side. Here it is 7 by 2. So x minus 1 became plus or minus root 7 by 2. Then x becomes, carry the minus 1 to the right hand side. It became 1 plus or minus root of 7 by root of 2. Is this clear now, Kashyap?